So it is December 19th, 2025. I am waiting um, to be transferred somewhere. I, I don't like the waiting process. I'm really impatient. I, um, I am in uncharted waters and I really don't know how to respond to it. I have an idea of how things will go, but it's the waiting. I really hate the waiting. So I guess patience definitely is a virtue I'm going to be faced with for the next who knows how long, maybe several months. Um, I met a woman today that she's struggling with her business, but she does culinary, and it was actually really rewarding. Um, a lot of my ideas she already has done because she's been doing her business already. I'm just a noob, but a lot of the stuff she's already done. And then I was like, well, what about this? And what about this? And there were a couple ideas, like a podcast idea was really good for her, and writing children's books was a good one too. So I was really excited to be able to actually have something new for her to do. She said, "Yeah, people have mentioned it before, but I didn't really listen." And I was like, she reminds me of me. I really enjoyed her as a person. Very nice conversation, very intelligent woman. Um, I really do hope that she's able to pull herself out because she does have a lot of debt. Uh, but going back to the issues with society about using people as items, accommodations for other people to use, to me, I'm like, maybe I need to get a group of people together so I can do the same things to those people that have done this to me. Maybe I should just Wheel of Fortune. But the thing is, I don't want to do those things to anybody, even in spite, even in hate. I really don't. Like, I have a moment where I feel that way, but even if I was in that like crime of passion, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It's not in me. Um, which makes me wonder, what is it that is in these people that make them do it? It can't just be simple narcissism, you know. Sociopathy is a hard one because they're driven by so many different things. And their thought patterns are very, very skewed, but not the way that they see it. I don't know. Psychology is fascinating. Uh, to me, sociology is not that fascinating, but I mean, for governmental purposes, of course it is because they want to control the masses. But I don't want to control masses. I just want to understand people on an individual level. But now it's a little bit more important that I do understand the masses because human trafficking is something that is very detrimental, you know, to everybody, and it needs to be addressed. Human rights need to be addressed. Transparency of knowledge and information needs to be addressed, and not just, oh, let's talk about it in Congress. No, it needs to be addressed and changed now. There needs to be reform now. I don't know all the intricacies of all that, um, but I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. I know a lot of people feel afraid to be that first person to step up to the plate. Well, I didn't choose to step up to this plate. I had no choice but to step up because my life was already being destroyed. My health was being destroyed. So I didn't have a choice. You guys do. So I hope people in authority, people in positions of power actually do step up because this is not just for our generation, it's for generations to come. Anyway, I don't want to preach too much. I'm in a freaking warehouse and people are probably looking at me funny anyway for making videos. So I just wanted to make that comment that it's the 19th. Um, I'm not sure what the plans for the future are going to be in the near future. I'm not happy with Almighty right now. I have some envy and pride issues going on with some ideas that I'm trying to come to terms with. The realization of who our creator is and for what purpose this was created. I think it's a pointless purpose to create an area for an experience when we're not allowed to experience it. We call it a material contamination. Well, we didn't have to create this reality. God Almighty didn't have to create it. So if it's a contamination, why create it at all? Again, I have a lot of questions that don't have answers, and maybe my feeble human mind is not capable of understanding them. I don't know. Maybe someday soon. I don't know. There's a lot of half informations, half truths that I know of, and I think that's what kind of distorts my understanding about a lot of things. But I think I understand, you know, the idea of material contamination. But I think because I don't ever go into excess. I don't ever For me, since I don't go into excess with a lot of things, like I don't overindulge with food, I don't do drugs, I don't, you know, do the whole intimacy excessively. I don't feel like it's a contamination, but I understand if people are in those positions how it can be contaminating the mind, which is our consciousness, which is our judgment. And that's what destroys people's lives, destroys people's employment, their relationships with their families. In my case, that's not what destroyed any of that. Me just being me is what destroyed all of that. How beautiful. Pure consciousness is what destroyed my family relationships, my employment, my whole entire life with this community that is the human civilization. I don't know what's worse, being me or being material contamination. Food for thought. Anyway, I'm just contemplating. That's all. I have too much time to think. I think that's the problem. And I don't have enough information and knowledge to really have what do they call it? Have actual hypothetical ideology. You know, it's not really educated. It's on a whim, based on I know I don't have all the information. That's what ticks me off too. And then I went to lunch right now, and everybody wanted to sit next to me. It was really annoying. You know what annoys me? What annoys me the most is when people want to sit next to me and have nothing of real value to talk about. Yeah, I told her this. I'm about to call an Amber Alert to see where she's at. Okay, I don't know who her is, and I don't want to hear about her. Now, if they were talking about spirituality, areas that I don't know, then yeah, you know, like for example, the woman that was the culinary um, chef. Like, I don't know too much about culinary. You know, I don't know too much about um, cooking on that level that she loves and enjoys, and so it was really fascinating. It was information. I liked that experience. I learned listening about people is not. I don't have a use for it. I don't value it. Look how pretty my hair came out. I didn't even put anything in my hair, so it's a little fuzzy, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot how curly my hair is because I just braided it and put it in a freaking hat since it's so cold out here, but I get to wear it out again, so it's kind of nice. Mhm. Anyway, slightly off topic. I'm done. It's already 10 minutes. I'm just being redundant. It's not that I don't like being alone, it's just sometimes I don't like to be alone without having a library because I can't look anything up. I can't be like, oh, what's this about? Let me check it out. I remember my mom and I, every time when I was younger, I'd be like, I don't know this. Let's look at the encyclopedias. We had just encyclopedias galore. We'd always go into the den, my dad's little office. She'd be like, look at this. And then I'd read it to her. Like I said, regardless of what kind of sick, pedophilistic, sociopathic, torturous creatures my foster family was, they played the part very well. And I genuinely don't believe that it was a play. I could tell when they were distant. I could tell when my mother pulled away from me. I could tell when she wasn't quite herself. But I think it was just hard to hate me. I really do. I think it was hard for them to hate me. It was easy for my brother because I already disowned him in my heart at 13. He meant nothing to me, so it was easy for him to continue to hate. My older sister, yeah, she had an identity crisis. I think she knew I loved her, but at the same time, she wanted to hate me, but she just couldn't. Well, she did, but at the same time, it was hard for her too. And Julie died recently. Just died, 3 months ago. They came to me during the day. I hope nobody has to go through what I went through. Or at least, I hope nobody has to go through what I went through ever again for this civilization. Anyway, before weird people get into my camera footage, we're done.